I got more than 20 job offers without even applying. On top of that, I got invites from more than 15 colleges to come as a guest speaker. On top of that, I was able to network with some of the top founders of the startups in India as well as the US. And I was able to do all of that just because of LinkedIn. In fact, with just consistent posting and posting valuable content, I was able to reach more than 1 million impressions in 2 to 3 months. I was able to reach 6,000 followers, more than 6,000 followers in a span of just 3 months. I'm going to share 7 no bullshit methods and practical and doable methods of growing on LinkedIn, just like I did. Let's begin with the first way, and that is setting up your profile. So if you're going to set up your profile, there's a lot of things that you'll have to keep in mind. Number one is your profile picture. It has to be professional. I mean, I don't know why I have to keep stressing on this, but I've gotten resumes from so many people my age, and they have really inappropriate pictures in their resumes or really inappropriate pictures on their LinkedIn. I remember there was some gym rat who actually had a picture of his bicep curl, where he was showing his bicep in his DP. LinkedIn is a platform where you're coming across as a more professional candidate. So your photos have to be professional. Another thing that you're going to work on when it comes to setting up your profile is your headline. So your headline is something which is visible each time you post something or you comment on some other person's post. So this is where you try to sell yourself. What I've written in my headline is IAM LKIS, that these are the calls that I got from the IAMs to build that sort of credibility. And the next thing that I've written is I have 1 million impressions. I have more than 1 million impressions. So people would want to see that, oh, so this is a person who writes something engaging, something valuable. Let's check out her account. So your headline is extremely important. This is where you try to sell yourself. So if you are a CA, then you write CA. If you've done CFA, you write CFA. If you've graduated from really good colleges like SRCC or IITs, that's what you write in your headline. Anything which is unique about you and which sells you to other people. The next thing that you want to keep in mind is your about section. Please try to introduce yourself in your about section. Nobody wants to see your entire journey from childhood. No, that's not what we're asking for. Just your professional summary that, okay, I did this in 12th grade and I was a topper there, and from there I decided to pursue finance probably. So make it like a story, make it like a journey, but not from your childhood, your professional summary. When your sentences are so spaced out, it becomes easier for the other person to read, and that person might actually read it as well. A lot of people, they don't read the about section, but recruiters, when they're in the process of hiring you, they'll definitely read your about section. So you want to keep it crisp, you want to keep it in a way that it's engaging, and you also want to sell yourself more compared to your headline. Now let's come to the second way of growing on LinkedIn, and that is by posting. So if you don't post, you're not growing on LinkedIn. If you think you can just engage with other people and that is good enough to grow on LinkedIn, it's not going to work out. You'll have to consistently post something which is valuable, something which is engaging, something which is providing some sort of new information to your readers. So initially you're going to have very limited connections. You're going to have 100 or 200 connections. And how LinkedIn works is, it does not give your post or give out your post to a lot of different people. It doesn't happen like that. It shows your post just to your connections. And if your connections end up liking that post, or they end up commenting on that post, then LinkedIn shows that particular post to your first degree connection and your second degree connection. So that is how you grow on LinkedIn. It's not easy to get the reach which you get on Instagram or you get on Facebook or you get on YouTube. So initially what you want to do is you want to post consistently. Post 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, because that's the working time for most people, and that's when they really engage with LinkedIn. And weekends is a sort of time when people don't want to be on LinkedIn. They want to be away from their work. So Monday to Friday is by far the best time to actually post on LinkedIn. And posting consistently initially will drop your quality, but at this point we're looking more at the quantity than the quality, so that we can reach out to more people and more people know that, oh, this is one person who posts regularly. So let's come to the third way of growing on LinkedIn, and that is engaging with other people's posts. Now, this is important because if you engage with other people's posts, the probability is that they engage with yours. On top of that, if you're engaging with their post, then all of their connections see your comment or your like, and that is essentially how you can grow more on LinkedIn. Now, there's a growing trend of people using AI software to comment on other people's posts. And that is such an awful and horrible way of engaging with other people. I mean, I remember I posted about, 10 job interview questions that you can use. And somebody wrote like a thank you message that, oh, this is a wonderful piece of content. On top of that, this is something which can be added on to it. It sounded like an essay, and I was 100% sure that it was actually copy pasted from AI and posted here. So don't do that. Engage authentically with people. If you like something, post about that. If you contradict with something, then post about that. But it should be authentic so that other people want to read. If it's an essay, trust me, nobody wants to read that. So let's come to the fourth strategy of growing on LinkedIn. And I think this is one of the most important, is having a hook. So a hook is the first sentence or the second sentence that you're writing in your post, and it should be so attention grabbing that people actually want to read more. So I remember I made this post where I said that, I had these many IAM interviews and I was able to crack 90% of them because of the interview strategies that I had used. So you can use many such hooks. I remember this one post that I had posted recently where I said that only losers pursue 9 to 5 jobs. Tell you what. So, people would obviously, who are doing jobs, they're going to want to click on it, that what bullshit are you talking about? And then as people read on, I said that this is what most influencers say and I don't agree with this. So that first 2 lines, I didn't believe in it, but the way I had written it, people thought that I am actually saying that only losers work 9 to 5 jobs. So that was an attention grabbing tactic which made people want to click on see more. So you'll have to use many such hooks on your post so that people actually want to read more. Unfortunately, we don't have that much attention span, so you have to keep it crisp, you have to keep it clear and add a hook. So let's come to the fifth strategy of actually growing on LinkedIn, and that is using some sort of media. So anyways, people don't like just reading text. They actually want to relate it with some sort of media. So if you had a personal photo, if you add some relevant photo, then it definitely adds more value to what you're talking about. And posts which have media in it get 70% more click rate. So you absolutely want to add some media. It doesn't matter if it's even relevant to the post, just add it. I've seen a lot of people, they'll, add a photo of them gazing in the sky or just, walking somewhere and it's not related to their post. Even I have done that, but it's just a way of humanizing people and making them feel like it's a personal story and giving your own personal touch to what you're writing about. So always add a media. Make sure that it's pictures and not videos, because videos for some reason they don't do as well compared to the pictures. There's a new feature of adding reels now in LinkedIn. That is something which you can improvise on. I have tried it. I haven't quite succeeded with that as much. I feel like I still get a lot more engagement on my written posts compared to my video-based posts. Now let's come to the sixth strategy, which I feel is extremely important when it comes to growing on LinkedIn, is to make it very valuable for the person who's reading it. If it's not valuable, nobody really wants to read it. As I've said it in so many other videos of mine as well, the most important currency that people can give of theirs is their attention. So if you want to keep their attention, you have to give them something valuable. So some of my most viral posts where I've gotten thousands of views and thousands of comments is when I've actually given something valuable in it. So I remember the first post that I had posted is when I talked about some of the most common resume making mistakes that people make. And I talked about how people add pictures in their resume, which you shouldn't do. Now, this is something which a lot of people don't know about, but reading about it made them realize, oh, I should not add my picture in it. So that was the first bit of value. The second thing that I had done was that I was sharing out a free resume template. And if they wanted to get access to that, they could share their email IDs and I would, share the resume template with them. Now that post went absolutely viral because one, I had given them a lot of value by telling them some common mistakes that people make. And second, by actually giving them a free resume template. So this way I got thousands of comments. My post went absolutely viral. I think I got 2,000, 3,000 followers just through that post. So if you want to give some value to your readers, you can use this particular way of giving out something in free, or you can give value by, talking about some common mistakes that people make, or you can even give value by talking about something which not a lot of people are talking about. I'll give you an example, that Porsche incident which took place where the 2 Pune boys ended up killing 2 software engineers, I think. That post actually went viral on LinkedIn first. There was one person who talked about it, and he talked about it in such an emotional way that post went absolutely viral. And from there, this entire case got so much highlight. So this way he was providing some value by talking about the news and actually relating that to an emotional incident. So when you add certain emotions, when you add certain journey of yours, that is also something which people do want to hear. That is essentially why so many people, when they share their struggle story on Instagram as well, it goes absolutely viral, because people like to read struggle stories and seeing how you were able to achieve more despite having that struggle in your life. So these are some really basic ways of actually growing on the platform. I have tried it, I have tested it, and it really works. I've gotten 6,000 followers already, and I'm projecting it to be around 10,000 by the next month. So LinkedIn is a great platform to grow on and to actually interact with intellectual people. Instagram is a platform where people are just going there to relax, and LinkedIn is a platform where people go with an intent to actually network with other people, to actually grow in their careers. So I feel like if you want to grow in your career, if you want to grow professionally, if you want to get really good jobs, then LinkedIn is an absolutely amazing platform to go about. 80% of the billionaires in the world, they are on LinkedIn, and they too come with that same intent when they're engaging with other people's posts on LinkedIn. So if you have a good enough following, you can actually reach out to these different type of people as well, and grow your networking. So that's all for today. I hope you found this video valuable. If you have any questions related to how to go on LinkedIn, how to post certain things, how to work on your profile, you can drop your questions in the comments. I'll try to answer to them as soon as possible.